my friends, tonight we are making homemade ghee. This is a over 5,000-year-old practice in Ayurveda. Ayurveda communities use ghee a lot. India, it comes from India. Indians, they use ghee in all of their cooking, whether it's sweets or whether it's savory foods. They're always using ghee in those recipes. It's their main staple of fat, from what I understand. Ghee is revered. It is a golden, beautiful, amazing thing to put into your body or to put on your body, because that's how they use it, all different ways. So it is a healthy thing to do. All the lactose is taken out, so it's great for digestion. People who are lactose intolerant, of course, can have ghee usually without any problems. The thing I'm going to do different tonight is I'm going to make the ghee. I'm going to put it into mason jars, and I'm going to high pressure cook that ghee so that it becomes shelf stable for many years. Could be up to 10 years. I don't know for sure. We're gonna find out, okay? So let's bring you over to the ghee. Okay, so here on the pot, in a cast iron pot is what I'm using. I have 5 pounds of butter, and this is actually a salted butter. I know that's a no-no for making butter like this or ghee, but I am going to try it and see if it works out. What's going to happen is we're going to get some foam, and probably get quite a bit of foam with the salted butter, but we're going to leave the foam in there this time, and we're going to keep boiling it down and see if that foam goes away. So this is step 1, is to melt your butter down. I'm on a medium to medium high heat is where I'm at. I'm cooking it a little bit faster tonight and seeing how this goes. In the past, I've done it on a slower, low heat, but it takes forever, and I have seen that you can do it this way, so I'm trying it this way to let you guys know if you actually can do it this way. And no, this one is not an expensive grass-fed butter. This is actually just a butter that was on sale at my local grocery store, just a Kroger brand, and so, you know, typically I love to use grass-fed butters, and I think that would be great for ghee. But I was doing a huge batch, and that stuff, you know, can get kind of expensive. So this is really for food storage for me and my family to last us for a while, because you will want a good fat or oil to have on your shelves that's shelf stable for a while. In times of crisis, when you don't have food or you can't get to the grocery store, you're going to be so grateful you made this ghee, which basically is what we did in our canning butter class, which you can go watch that video next. We're just going to cook this down a little bit more. The last class, what I did was skim off the foam, but this class I'm going to keep that foam there and see if it doesn't cook out on its own and boil out. Okay, so basically what happened here is it's boiling right now, and it actually did boil down that foam. We don't have to skim foam off ever. I don't know why I did that in my butter video, because this is what it really does, is it boils down and then you just keep going with it here, and the foam's not there anymore. But when the second foam comes on, then I'll know it's ready to strain and to put into jars. So that's what we're waiting for next. See if I can get you a good picture here. I turned that heat down to a medium heat, and I'm boiling it on the medium heat now till we get the second layer of foam. Okay, so this is boiling. I turned up the heat a little bit more. This has been going so far a total of maybe 10 minutes, and we're not quite there yet. I'm waiting for the second foam to take place. And what's happening here is a science experiment. The milk solids will start to separate from all of this. So we're going to be left with a nice, deep, rich, dark, golden, nutty color and flavor. It's going to be awesome. But I wanted to just crank the heat up so I can get it going a little faster here. Okay, this is the second foam, you guys. So this is the second foam coming at you. So from here, it's about ready. It's about ready now to strain and can into our jars. I'm going to just let this boil down a little bit more so that second boil goes away, and then I'm going to can it. And that's how this process works. But underneath this foam, we've got a golden, amazing color. I cannot wait to show you that, and it's going to be fantastic. Okay, this is what's happening here. The foam started coming up too high. I had to turn off the heat and ladle some off. So I really did want to try to boil that foam down. So I'm still going to try to boil that foam down so I don't have to take the foam off. Let's see if we can get it there, and then I will go ahead and strain it. Okay, you see that? I never could get that foam to go all the way down. So I'm just gonna have to strain it like this and see what happens here. If you look to the side here, you'll see that rich dark golden color. That is our ghee. Okay, right what there. I got here, I'm gonna try just this little strainer. It's a fine mesh sieve. I'm gonna drain some of this into here, see what happens. Yeah, we got a nice deep golden butter here. And the foam went down on its own once I turned the heat off. So on the second foam, I guess it doesn't really go down. You know, I don't know. I haven't done it this way. Ooh, can't really see, can you? That's the color. It's a nice golden butter. It's really hot. Straining it off really nicely, so I'm going to keep doing this method here. And I will mention here that sometimes if you've had ghee, it has a grainy texture, and some people love that grainy texture. I don't like it as much, and we might get that anyways, but usually that can come on more if you like the grainy texture, just to splash a little bit of water in there on that second boil or just after. Okay. Okay, so here we are, and it was an awful mess because when I was trying to pour it out of the pan, the bottom last bits of it, it got everywhere. And so that's just what happens. And you know, once you get butter on stuff, it tends to stay there forever. But I will say this, my dog Tito keeps running around here because I've never seen him so excited to lick the ground where I dropped the ghee. So I've been saving him the little bits that separate, and I'm putting that in with his dog food because he hasn't been wanting to eat I've been putting some organ meats in his dog food, you know, and of course, you know, those don't taste great. He hasn't been wanting to eat his dog food. I feed him some yummy, delicious raw dog food. And so I put a little bit of that in there. He eats it right up. So a little tip for you guys with your dogs, I guess. Even though I heard you're not supposed to give your dogs fat, I think ghee might be the exception to that, because it's a really, really healthy, delicious fat. And you know, in Ayurveda, like I said, they're rubbing this stuff all over their body because it's a massage they give themselves with either sesame seed oil or ghee, which is really nourishing for the skin too, and it's really good for you. So we got about 4 and almost 5 jars of ghee here. This one I probably will keep out and use, so I'll process 4 of them in my water bath canner, but it's not going to be water bath. I'm going to high pressure cook it and put these ones on the shelf for long-term storage. Yep. So that's what we're going to do, and then I'll put the lids and rings on nicely, and then we'll get it going. Okay, here's our pot. We're going to just put our jars in now. I'll splash a little bit of vinegar in there so the jars stay nice and clear. This is just some white vinegar, and I'm just putting a splash in there because when you high pressure cook anything, those jars tend to get all foggy and they're not pretty and clear and shiny anymore. So we want to make sure we put a little vinegar in there, and that helps to keep those jars clear and shiny. Tip of the pros. I'm not a pro, but here we go. I'm going to put my lid on now. Okay, protocol is we wait until we see steam come out. We set a timer for 10 minutes so that steam's coming out constantly and consistently for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to put the pressure regulator on there. And when I see this dance back and forth, I set a timer for 75 minutes. And then I will take it off the heat. It'll be done. But I will wait till it comes to a full depressurization before I open up this lid, take the jars out, which won't be till the morning. So this is all the grainy bits from our ghee. I don't know if you can see that, it's dark out here, but it's like it looks like cocoa with water. It smells heavenly. It's like a nutty, buttery, delicious smell. I can see why the dog loved it so much. So I know I can use this to bribe my dog, now that I know that. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in a glass container. And when I have to feed him something that he doesn't care for, like, you know, till he gets used to it anyway, like organ meats, or just his raw food. Sometimes he doesn't want the raw food I give him, but this will help to bribe that. So I'm going to stick that in the fridge for later for him. Now you can't see this good, but this is the steady stream of steam, but you can hear it. So 10 minutes when it hits that point. All right, I'm putting the regulator on now. You gotta kind of do it fast and with confidence, or you might burn yourself. Or you could use a big long set of tongs. So now when this starts to jiggle back and forth, like that, on its own, then I set a timer for 75 minutes. There it is, but we have the temp too high. We need to slow this baby down so that the pressure doesn't go too high. So I stick around really close and I just watch this. I stay close by. Okay, here we go. Wanted to show you guys what it looks like when it's just coming out of the canner after it's still hot, right? It's still trying to cool down. This is your ghee right here. Ignore all those oranges in the back. This is what it looks like when it's all set up. So this is like a nice, nutty, almost like a creamed honey color. That's really what it looks like to me. I've had a lot deeper yellow colors when I've done this before. I believe I cooked this one just a little bit longer, but I tasted the flavor and it's fantastic. What happened though was, 3 of my jars did not seal, or 4 of them actually. Only 1 of them did, which is kind of sad when that happens. That's really sad. So I went back and I tried to do some investigating. And there was no chips. I just wiped them down again, and I heated up the rims to be a little bit softer when I put those on. And then I just put them in the water bath canner again for 10 minutes to try to create a seal on that. So now I'm just gonna wait and see if it seals. It's just kind of coming out right now. And if it doesn't, well, then it doesn't, and I use them up. And that's all there is to it. It's hard to find brand new lids, you guys. That's really the key, is getting some good ball or cur lids, which are unavailable right now. So yeah, I mean, some of these are a second time that I'm trying to use them, and that's always worked for me in the past. I know you're not supposed to, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I won't feel sad. I'll just use it up, and that's what I'll do. But I'm gonna actually, do some research to find some other lids that are just as good, that are available, that I could be using. So, and I know there are reusable ones out there. I need to go check those out too. So here you go. This is what it's going to look like when you have your ghee. And you get about 5 jars out of 5 pounds. So go and make it and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.